What's up, weekenders, and welcome back to Grand Prix World for round 8 and most probably 9 of our 2001 season with Arrows. We're currently sat third in the championship, which I feel is a little bit unfair given how good the car fundamentally is, but we've had a bit of a spotty record when it comes to finishing the races and some reliability problems which we've been working through progressively. As it stands at the moment, we are reasonably close to getting a Works Peugeot deal. Again, it's only one season, but it does come with 11.8 million fun bucks for us to deposit at our leisure. And the major thing so far is that we've actually picked up a 2-season Works deal with Goodyear, which is fun stuff indeed. We've been screwed over repeatedly on the sponsor front, and that's a shame because one of our main goals this season was to pick up as many top level sponsors as we were able to acquire for ourselves, and that just hasn't been working so far. What we're hoping for now is that Castrol are prepared to offer us a multi-year deal that we can really throw our weight behind, and that we miraculously pick up this 2.6 million deal from HSBC, even though I think they're talking to somebody else. We produced our B-Spec car, and it's an improvement, but we still don't really know much about it. And the reason that's particularly a problem is it means that we're still not any the wiser as to what we should be doing to get the most out of our car. So we've already started work on the C-Spec. The problem is we have understeer on the car in slow corners, so we are developing a new front wing which will hopefully correct that issue. It will not be finished until... if we rush it, maybe it could be out by round 13, but it's a very much end of season kind of deal, so it's not going to win the championship for us. It's certainly not going to, what I mean by that is it's certainly not going to provide a massive boost long term for us to raise our position within the championship. The best we can hope for is that it maintains our third position at the end of the season and we don't fall behind to the clutches of other people. We're going to crack on with some spare part construction, and we're going to run some testing, and we're going to run a race. Now, still, as always, making as many spare parts as we can. I'm going to leave a little bit of construction capacity in case something fun happens. But let's go off to testing land. I'm going to throw 5% over here, and again we're going to do maximum testing because 1,000 a mile isn't actually that bad. And of course we want most of our attention to be towards the engine, just to make sure that we get the best out of it that we can. Okay. Let's see if we can get a boost here in one turn and use that to boost the C-Spec and get it out a bit sooner. So we'll run those tests. Be kind. You weren't kind. I specifically asked that you were kind. Never mind, more points. I'm going to drop a point into rigidity because I'm not 100% convinced that that's not the reason why we're having some problems. And I'm going to reduce the weight of the engine further. Tyres, we're still running Spec 2 Bridgestone softs for Deniz and Spec 1 Bridgestone hards for Nakano, who is actually proving to have synergised really well with this year's car and to have synergised really well with this year's Bridgestone hard compound. He's actually won a race and he's more than double the points tally of Deniz, which is a bit unfortunate because one of them is staying and one is going, and you can guess which one is which. It's surprising that this has happened, although predictable that it would happen once we'd made the decision to get rid of him. I'd been defending Nakano all through the first season as a pay driver who I've won championships with, and who, despite his weak statistics, kind of comes alive. And he has been developing quite nicely. We can see particularly his wet weather and his concentration have gained noticeably in his time at the team. But we made the right decision at the right time in getting rid of him, and Deniz has outperformed him 3 seasons out of 4. So, who knows, it may still turn on its head. I'm going to boost our commercial department because far too many sponsors are slipping through our fingers. I'm going to chuck in some extra designers as well. That's a significant additional cost to running the department, but it's what we need. Right, we will repair and fix up the race machinery. Car 3 will leave as it is. And again, we're spending quite significantly, but the team is again profitable since we cancelled our factory upgrade, which it kind of feels like we've vented off steam unnecessarily, but I really wasn't convinced that we'd make it through the season without getting into some severe financial difficulties, and I think an upgrade next season is totally within our capabilities if we pick up some more sponsors. Right. Everything looks good there. Everything looks good here. I'm still not going to favour any driver over another right now, and I'm going to spend my points a little bit differently. We spent a lot of time focusing on the performance parameters, but here there's an obvious signal that we should be focusing down here on the weather as well, but you never know, the weather's quite variable, so I'm not going to prioritise it. Right, so we're on the Evolution 10 V10 units from Peugeot. I'll make sure both cars have those fitted, keeping the Carno on the hard compound tyre because I see no reason not to. Let's see how we do here. Again, we've been continually suffering from poor qualifying form. 23 degrees, cloudy with a strong wind for qualifying. Not really sure how to read that, but I'm sure Peugeot wouldn't mind a good turnout at their home Grand Prix. 6th and 7th, that's pretty much where we've been the last 2 seasons in qualifying, when we're having a good day at the office, so who even knows how this really measures up. Heinz-Harald Frentzen takes pole in the Jordan on a 1:15.396. That's a 10th and change ahead of David Coulthard's Benetton in 2nd. Johnny Newhouse lines up 3rd for McLaren. Alexander Wurz 4th for Jordan. 5th for Espantuero's Benetton, and then a 6th and 7th for us. Deniz leading Nakano by the narrowest of narrow margins, and all the indications, as far as I can see, is that we're going to have Nakano finishing ahead of Deniz again. What we really want is them both to finish, because continually Jordan and Benetton have been getting both cars in the top 6. Luca Badoa in his McLaren is behind us. Rosset and Montemini continue to make progress with Stewart. It may not look immediately like it. They've been hovering around 9th and 10th since mid of last season, but to stay there and keep teams like Ferrari behind is a big achievement. The same goes for Prost, and the same goes for Minardi. Marini outqualifies Hakkinen by a 10th and a bit, which is surprising. Sauber have fallen behind Ferrari, who seem to be starting to have some signs of recovery. Williams continue to be totally in the doldrums, and the gap to the Tyrrells is about as bad as it's been on this kind of circuit. The Montoya-Takagi partnership at Tyrrell still doesn't seem to be making massive grounds, even though the team itself seems to be making the right calls. 24 degrees and light rain. Now, we are good in the rain, actually. Both drivers are a 4 out of 5 in wet weather conditions, so that's very, very promising. Again, we're going to one-stop Nakano and hope that works out. He'll stop on lap 36 and then do a 35 lap run till the finish. Deniz will stay on 2 stops. Again, this is only in case the rain stops and they go back onto their regular compound tyres, and we end up with Nakano making 2 stops on a long life hard compound tyre, which just doesn't make sense. So, fingers crossed, we've qualified well. The conditions kind of suit the drivers, if not the car. It's the first time we've tested the B-spec on this kind of circuit, and we've got a new engine with it, so who even knows? Best of luck. And again, Deniz fails to finish with an engine failure. Now, there's not much we can do about the engine failures now. That really, I don't understand, because we've got bulletproof reliability on that car at the moment in terms of the power unit. However, Nakano crawls his way up to 4th, which we won't turn our nose up at. He lapped everyone up to 5th, so it was on the pace. Frentzen takes the win from pole for Jordan. It's a Jordan 1-2 with Voort. David Coulthard's Benetton takes 3rd position. Nakano in 4th for Arrows Peugeot. Mika Häkkinen's Prost. Again, he seems to always qualify somewhere down low and bring it up during the race. So he's making his reputation stick. Johnny Newhouse takes the last point paying position with McLaren. Quite a lot of attrition. What have we got here? 2 hydraulic failures, one for Marini and one for Jan Magnussen. Also, Andrea Montemini Stewart succumbed to a hydraulic problem. Some accidents as well for Mika Salo's Minardi, Rubens Barrichello's Ferrari and Ricardo Rossit's Stewart, so a double non-finish again for Stewart. Jean Alesi's Sauber, the driver error, and Giancarlo Fisichello's Sauber had an engine failure. And a driver error for Esteban Tuero in his Benetton. So, yeah, really disappointed again that Diniz failed to make the finish. Not really his fault with the engine, but not good either. Our dreams of moving up to 2nd are very much out of reach now, and I think it's a Jordan Championship this season. Although we're still 8 points clear of McLaren, we just need to keep plodding on. And if we do take 3rd, that's still a step forward, so we can be happy with that. Moving on to our home Grand Prix. Let's see what's what in the design office first of all. We've got a brake upgrade completed, smashing. And the first stage of the C-Spec development is ready as well. 2002 car has left CFD simulation, so we're now on to model construction. Let's upgrade our brakes. Nice. Let's see what's going on in Sponsorland. HSBC have been stolen from us, but we do have a 2-season deal on the table from Castrol, so that's something. I'm getting really annoyed actually at sponsors being poached from us. It's showing a real weakness in how the team's doing things. Peugeot is still also delaying on giving us that Works engine deal, which is a worry. It is a worry. I would go for PlayStation, but I think it's too late in the season to get them, so we're relying now on Castrol being very accommodating towards us. So bring them along to this Grand Prix. Yeah, everything's looking good over here. We've signed everyone we need to sign. On the driver front, we're as good as we're going to be as well. Still disappointed in Diniz. Benetton have got a team sponsorship deal with East. Frentzen won from pole. Nakano almost got a podium position. No. Ferrari have switched to Works Mercedes-Benz power. HSBC have signed with Prost. Alexander Voorts had the fastest lap last round. Celso Moreira will be driving for Williams. I think that's a signing well within their grasp given their current form. Jordan, McLaren and Minardi all signed sponsors. Sauber, Stewart and Tyrrell also. Tyrrell picking up Fond Metal is a pretty big deal for them. Williams have signed Fiat. Eddie Jordan gets Manager of the Month. Peter Sauber is the biggest loser. He made a profit of 382,000 from that Grand Prix, which is smashing news indeed. Let's crack on here. What I'm going to do for the next round is I'm going to turn down the aggressiveness on Pedro Diniz. I don't know what the reason is for his continual non-finishes, but there must be a reason for it. And we're going to just take some avoiding action to try and prevent that from continuing to happen. So currently we are on schedule for 10, 11, 12, round 13 of 16 for the C-Spec, all going well. Testing time. 700,000, I do not think. 500,000 max. still close to 300 miles of testing, so that's pretty good. And we're gonna go all out on the engine. Testy, testy. I'm going to deploy these points now. Good, good. Let's up our engine again. That is our specification, isn't it? Yeah, they brought out their own spec, but ours is vastly superior. Right. 2 improvement points, which are going to be on rigidity again and fuel economy. We're going to have a perfect engine before the end of this season, or perfect's wrong. Actually, don't take me at my word. That we're going to have the best possible engine that Peugeot can produce. It doesn't necessarily mean that if a Mercedes engine that someone else has developed with all these points full, it doesn't mean they're identical. However, it's still a big deal that we've been able to achieve that, and it's a sign of the progress within the team that we can be very, very pleased about. Alright, we'll repair the Denismobile. Alright, we've invited the sponsors that we need. The cars are repaired. We need a win. I don't mean an actual win, I just mean a metaphorical win. We need something to go our way. Deniz has been worrying me, so hopefully he takes note of that and changes his behaviour. I'm going to give him extra downforce. Because we want something to make sure he gets around those corners. No new compound of tyre, but there is a new engine. Same as ever over here. Let's rock it. 18 degrees light rain with a very strong wind. That should play to the driver's strengths again, we hope. And it does. Deniz puts it second. I'm very, very impressed with that. Heinz-Harald Frentzen takes pole on the 130.720. Pedro Deniz takes second in the Arrows, 130.929. Alexander Wurz is Jordan, 130.999 in third. David Coulthard puts it fourth for Benetton. Shinji Nakano fifth in the Arrows, about half a second behind Deniz. And Mika Hakkinen sixth for Prost. 23 degrees dry with a very strong wind in the race, which means we're back on dry tyres. That could potentially damage our performance, but given where we're starting, maybe we get lucky. A double points would be great, a double podium would be even better. All those tyres have been unrun. I want you to cross all of your fingers now, and I'm hoping that your future good wishes can somehow come back in time and make this go the way we want it to go. Okay, I'm actually nervous. I'm never nervous playing this game, but I've become really invested in this playthrough, and I really, really want, particularly Deniz, to come good, so... Damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it. What's he done this time? Hydraulic failure. Another fourth place for Shinji Nakano is nothing to be sniffed at, but Johnny Newhouse got more points for McLaren by taking second position. Heinz-Harald Frentzen takes another win. Coulthard gets third. Alexander Wurz fifth for Jordan, and Mika Hakkinen sixth in the Prost for another point for them. Not so many accidents this time. Ricardo Rosset had an accident. Eddie Evans-Williams electronic failure. An unknown failure from Michael Schumacher's Ferrari. Hydraulics let down Pedro Deniz. Esteban Tuero had a suspension failure, and Andrea Montemini rounds off another double non-finish for Stewart with a fuel flow problem. Nakano moves up to joint fourth in the Drivers' Championship, and we are now a mere 5 points clear of McLaren in third. Not good. Not good. Another race profit though, which we're happy about. Let's really get this. Let's really get this out now. I really want to be getting somewhere with this. We're on the final stage for the AR 2002A, which should be shaping up to be a nice car. What's our reliability like on hydraulics? It's the best reliability we have in the car. So that shows you the kind of luck we've been having. Have we had any luck in the sponsor world? Right, okay, we can sign the works deal with Peugeot, so that we will do. And now we're on a real sponsor run. A real sponsor run. What's going on with BIC? Oh, they've signed with someone else. Of course they have. Of course they have. We will go for Korean Air. And we'll put 30% on them. And what we need to figure out now is if we want... what we want more, the money or the control over the engine program. Yeah, we can't give up control of that. Just have to hope that we don't pay for this very, very dearly. Peugeot, you're out. Castrol, you're in. And Korean Air, you are in. Let's make friends very, very quickly. Our sponsorship budget is above where we were last year by 1.2 million, but I'm still not happy. There's a lot of free space on the car still. Playlife will be the team sponsor for Sauber, and Benson and Hedges, or Buzzing Hornets, will be the team sponsor for Tyrrell. Another win for Frentzen, who we should have signed, but it was too expensive. Fastest... another near podium. I thought he was saying he had a fastest lap there for a minute because I switched from German to English in my mind. Jordan and Shell have completed a deal. I'm guessing that's a works deal. Both Jordans in the top 6. BIC have signed with Williams. That was a bad mistake. We have won more points so far this season than we won in the entirety of last season. And while we are happy, it's not really the results I was hoping for. Stewart and Texaco will be partners next season, and the fastest lap went again to Alexander Wurz in his Jordan. Prost have re-signed Alberto Marini, and many sponsors have happened to many people. Let's do another round, eh? What does it hurt? Everything's where we want it here, so we know what we have to do. I don't think we need quite so much engine testing anymore. Let's see what we can do with this. Nah, still not quite right, but we should still get 2 points to spend on the engine, I hope. Yes, we do. We will go for responsiveness and fuel economy. No new tyres, no new fuels or lubricants. So we can rebuild our spare parts stock, fix the cars up, try and make some friends. Try and make some points. Points make prizes, everyone knows that. One more. Right. More repairs on the Denismobile. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. And you're going to think I've gone mental, but I'm going to move the Niz into car 3. Because I'm starting to think that maybe there is a fault with chassis number 1 that is causing the continual failures. So that's what we're going to do. Yep, all good. I think we've done everything we need to do. Yep, okay. Okay. Right. Austria... I hate to say this in advance, but I'm expecting actually that Austria will not particularly suit our car all that well. So again, I'm spending the majority of the points in the performance attributes once more. We'll bring our new Evolution engine, continue with the tyre divide because it's not let us down so far really. .23 very dry, so not our favourite situation, but 5th and 6th, so actually I'm quite pleased by that. Another pole for Heinz-Harald Frentzen, ahead of David Coulthard's Benetton, Esteban Tuero's Benetton, and Johnny Newhouse's McLaren. Johnny Newhouse continues to be the dominant partner at McLaren. Alexander Wurz has an inexplicably poor qualifying session down in 8th. Williams remain bottom of the pile, although not by so much. Tyrrell and Sauber are mixing it up, Stewart and Minardi and Prost are mixing it up. Nakano has outqualified Deniz again, by a very narrow margin, but he has done it. The temperature has gone down for race day, and we really want a good result here. We'll do a 36-35 split again with Nakano. And hope that saving that pit stop gets us some points. Deniz will do his usual, and we'll have to hope that he can just bring those tyres to life. Well, it's a good result of some description. It's a second for Deniz. Deniz comes good at last. Maybe it was the jinx of car 1. Heinz-Harald Frentzen wins from pole, no surprises there. Pedro Deniz kind of surprises us to pull a second out of the bag. Esteban Tuero goes 3rd for Benetton. Shinji Nakano picks up his 4th place in a row for a double points finish. Luca Badoa's McLaren is 5th. Alexander Wurz reclaims a point for Jordan. Accidents for Coulthard and Fisichella and Montemini. Johnny Newhouse had an hydraulic failure, and Mr. Alberto Marini's Prost had a fuel issue. No real major changes there, but we are now a bit more comfortable, 12 points clear of McLaren. I think it's a mathematical impossibility in realistic terms for us to catch Benetton at this point unless we begin getting 1-2s every round, and that's just not going to happen. Let's see what the sponsor situation looks like. Korean Air are only offering a 1-season deal, but still, 1.7 million is not that bad. I'm going to spend the TV advantage to grab the Castrol deal. We've got control over both tyres and engine development next season, so that puts a few more cards in our pocket. On the design front, we're on the final stage of development for the C-Spec car, so that will be out next episode. And what very near to being done with the AR2002A. No new compounds. Well, it's not fantastic, but it's a better situation to leave the episode in than I was fearful of. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you guys are having an amazing weekend. I'm out tonight at a friend's 30th birthday blowout, and my spidey senses already tell me it's going to be incredibly messy. My aim is to do an F1 1997 episode for you tomorrow, or some Grand Prix World. I can't guarantee that's going to happen, and if it does, I can't guarantee it's going to be a good episode, because I've got a feeling I'm going to be hungover like you wouldn't believe. But I wish you a merry hangover as well. I hope you're having fun whatever you're doing, and I will talk to you as soon as I'm not dead anymore. Take it easy.